Okay, so good evening. Once again, just want to welcome everybody to this webinar, and it's such a pleasure having you here as usual. This is one of the things. This is our own way of being part of the conversation. Federal Republic of Nigeria, the things that happen, the events in our country, the leaders that we choose, the way they run it, the things that go on and everything. These are the things that we gather to talk about every weekend. And tonight we've got one of those are special ones. Of course, all our guests are special. I must say that. But she's fire. Usually, there quite a lot of them. They actually they hold back quite a lot in terms of making comments on certain things. But with these guests, it's no holds barred. There's no question she doesn't answer, and she does not shy away from any topic. And if she doesn't want to, if she consider it below her, you say, why are we even discussing that? It's not important. So tonight we'll be talking very quickly about two topics. For those of you who might find the session too short, don't worry. She'll be back in 2 weeks by the grace of God. She will actually be back next week. And so we'll just be looking at these things together. And then, of course, after in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having one of the special advisors on economics to on the economy to Vice President uh, uh, to the Vice President. So it's quite a very good lineup over the next few weeks. So tonight, very very quickly with this wonderful guest of ours, we'll be looking at quite a few topics. One of them is changes to the Agric policy, the rice importation policy, and all the anchor borrowers, all the things that are tied to it. So changes to rice and other grown foods, the importation policy somersault or strategic reengineering. That's the first one. Second one, we will be interrogating the legal issues around the Owerri assault on Comrade Joe Ajaero vis-a-vis the recent labor strike. And some of you will go like, but why did you talk about it last week with Comrade Nelson Ekujumi? Well, yeah, because it's a very, very deep issue. And Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya is, Comrade Ekujumi is an activist, a very well-known activist of a few decades reckoning. Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya is also an activist, but in addition to that, she's also a lawyer. So it's good to have that further perspective on it. And of course, this is a topic close to our heart. I do know that about the rice policy, the things that have happened with the government, kind of having to do other things in terms of changing the policy and everything. So without wasting time, because we've not got all that time tonight, it is my pleasure to welcome one of the most well-known faces. If you are actually if you're on the Nigerian Twitter where they talk, where it is politics, the things that go on in Nigeria, you know that she is she is super active. Let me put it like that. And the kind of person our guest tonight is she's like Marmite. You either hate her or you love her. I'm not really quite sure that she's been in the middle quite a lot. It's either you like her or you hate her because she just puts her views across. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite this woman. She's a solicitor of many decades running. She is one of the directors of Sage Consulting NG, and what else do I want to say? But of course, when you see the firebrand in her, you need to the only thing you need to know really that she's Ni Fawemi. So once you hear that, you just know that, oh, no wonder, all settled. Do you know that's what you say? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya. Thanks for joining us tonight again, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So which of the topics do you have first of all? And I congratulated you behind the scenes, but let me do it out here now. Congratulations on the wedding of your daughter. It was fantastic, and I think we'll probably put in the public domain at times that those dance steps. Some of the musicians need to learn it now. Thank you, man. Yes, man. Thank you, man. Mm, mm, yes, man. Yes, man. Mm, 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 mm. Wow. Oh, okay. Mm, awesome. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. 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 Yes. mm, 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 mm. Yes. Mm, 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 Africa. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. We're gonna have questions for you. You've talked honestly. You've talked very deeply about those things, man. Maybe when next week we'll probably have to delve deeper because what I've done here, and I know some of our panelists, in our panelists, would actually have one or two questions. But let me take you up on a few things, man. And this is me digging up. Even though I've realized that you are now Madam President retired. I don't know when you retired, but so um, you there was a place where I think there was a tweet in March of this year where you praised Emefiele and you said, "Thank you for the anchors. God will bless this man, Emefiele." Of course, a lot of people would easily take you up on that. Thank you for the anchor borrowers program. And then, of course, you went on to say, and the rice revolution, that the implementation of the Naira redesign policy encountered difficulties is not solely on you. And I'll not join anyone in cursing you. God bless you, sir. So I'm just taking you up on the rice, on the anchor borrowers, and then the rice revolution. Now, I think this tweet was sometime in August, and that was Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State. I believe the rice being distributed by this pragmatic and hands-on governor of Borno State are all Nigerian rice. I've researched the UMZA brand, and it says UMZA Classic Nigerian Rice. Is there any imported rice that is being distributed by the governors? Because I know for sure that the rice the FGN released from our grain reserves is all Nigerian rice. So if you doubt the revolution that occurred in Nigeria in the past 8 years, particularly on rice production, something surely is wrong with your logic. Now, some will disagree with you on that, man. This is more reason why we must concentrate on Agric in Nigeria. Look at the volume of rice in circulation, and yet the price remains high. It is time for state governors to step into price gouging by middlemen in food trade. Let the FGN work with states to chart logistics for food transportation via a mixture of road and rail. Let it be a KPI for the new Minister of Transport. Now you're not actually saying Minister of Agric or Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. You actually went straight for the Minister of Transport. Northern farmers should be assisted to transport their produce to the nearest rail point. This will reduce transportation costs and minimize food waste on account of spoilage. Thank you so much for that, but I'm going to take you up. There are two states in Nigeria where there are many states that are very well known for production of rice. Gombe is one. Jigawa State is one. So there are quite a lot of states there that the state, ma'am, Kebbi, in fact, Kebbi is the main reference point for most other states. Lagos State even went to try to partner with Kebbi. So the question is, even the rice from Kebbi is not cheap. And then the governments of those states, they're actively involved in it. And people are complaining of this. And over in the last 2 weeks, there have been quite a lot of videos in circulation where some surreptitious videos were being recorded of Nigerians actually debugging foreign rice, imported rice, their own rice, local rice, and now using used bags of imported rice, now rebagging those things and selling at a premium. You've tried to say, Mother, people talking about the greed of farmers is not really the case. But people, is there no greed in there, ma? Is there no greed? Hmm, 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 yeah. Hmm, 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 hmm. You don't think Akinwumi Adesina was good in that office? Okay. Yes, no? Hmm, hmm, hmm. What's going on? Hmm, 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 hmm. 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 Thank you so much, Ma. I'm going. Yes. Hmm. 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 Thank you so much, Ma. I honestly, I wish we had more time for this, but I know you picked out these two topics. But I know these are great things close to your heart, Ma. I know that personally. But there are lots of questions I really wish to throw at you, but I'm going to give room to our panelists to ask two or so questions because I know there was another tweet you which was on on the 16th of June, and he said the restriction paved the way for import substitution and Agric revolution. Industrial starch, rice, grains produced at home surged. Value chain of Agric developed more. You know, this is why they say the internet never forgets. You know, somehow you can dig out these things. So it says, go to ShopRite and see the number of Nigerian products that are now stocked. But some of those Nigerian products, when you get to ShopRite, the multiples, the price of what you get in another store out there. So these are some of the challenges. And if I may recall, they were never banned from. Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wow. Hmm. 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 Thank you so much, Ms. Awokoya. Honestly, I am feeling so bad because we're actually not doing justice, but it's my fault, not yours, man, because it's so deep. Uh, that in fact, in preparing for this webinar, I now went and I realized that you had, in fact, there was one you had with a user with a ex user called Woye. You had a back and forth that I would have loved to actually delve deeper, looking at quite a lot of statutes and all this, but we don't really have the time because we still have another topic. But let me quickly read a few comments and then I'll just go to one or two people there who might have questions. Um, I'll start with Prida Sola Fayemi, but let me quickly read this. Prida Lukman wrote here, I agree with that. Most sellers now buy from ShopRite and the rest. And here is one from Taiwo Kunoda. Yes, I stopped patronizing local markets when I knew some of the basic items in many of these shops. ShopRite, etc. were cheaper and trustable. Wow. This is because I've still had a few people complaining about all these shop rights and all these things a few days ago. So I'll just quickly take a few questions. Like that, Fire let us start with you, and then maybe one more. I don't know whether the coordinators or DSGs or anybody has a question. Let me very very quickly like that or not, Javi as well. Very quickly. Thank you so much. I'll just take one or two more, and let me just take maybe DSG Okunuga, or coordinator Okunuga, or Sabine Onajobi. I'll take just one of you. You can unmute. Just because of our time, I'm sorry, I can't just take everybody. We still have another topic to go. It's Kenny Okunuga. You're free to unmute. Otherwise, I'll just take Taiwo or Bidemi Onajobi. Onajobi, you can unmute now. And then we need to move on very, very quickly. Okay. Okay. You've unmuted now. Oh, okay. Okay. No problem. Okay. We'll probably just, Taiwo Kunuga, I think he's struggling to unmute himself. So, because we need to move on if I can't get, but anyway, very, very quickly, because on the label one, I know that last week, Comrade Lukman and Co, and they had quite a lot to say. So I'm going to leave that other aspect to them. And I know PLIDE Joshua is in the house as well. So before we switch to the next topic now, or maybe I should just leave you to respond to what the surgeon just said, because he said quite a few things there, and of course there's a statement in the chat here. If you look at another comment there, man, it says just bear with me. This one says farmers are thieves. Wow, that's tough. In Nigeria, they always cheat the buyers. By now, they should have crashed the price of rice. Well, you know, so. Mm, 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 mm. Oh my God. Oh my God, but you've ended it on a very combative note there, man. Saying nobody employed farmers to come and give anyone palliatives. But at the same time as well, people are, if you make that argument, but is it not legit for someone else to make the counter argument that in that case, since nobody employed farmers to come and give us palliatives, in that case, nobody, government policies, or discounts or subsidies should not be taken off the board, which is our taxes anyway, and then used to subsidize the same farmers. Hmm, 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 hmm. Are you sure? Are you sure it is producing, man? I asked that question eventually because one of the ex-governors of the state, Ajaero, she actually started a poultry, and okay, okay, mm, 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 mm. Thank you so much. I'll just read a few comments and then we need to go because of our time. Um, it's Comrade Ayole. I put some Comrade Lukman put some comments. Problem is not really the farmers. Most of these politicians, they stock it in their homes. Most of these products are not really getting to the masses. And many people are running away from farming, I believe he said. Then farmers are in categories, and of course, I won't, that's a very heavy one. That could be subject to defamation, then, sure, in most of the categories. So now, for next week, when you come out, one of the questions I'm going to ask you is still on this Agric thing. I'm going to ask you next week, man, as a lender with a conscience, with shareholders, will you keep lending if only 50? Because you said, oh, the 50% has not come back, it's not a big deal. Will you actually keep lending if 50% of your outlay ever comes back? That's one. And that's for next week, man. And number two will be, would you lend when you know that those who process your lending for you within your system, within your own company, most of them actually have a way of ensuring that they use third parties outside to corner quite a lot of these subsidized facilities. So the next week, man. So no problem, man. No problem, man. So we just go to the next topic, man. The question of Comrade Ajaero. And looking at and the topic, of course, interrogating what happened to him, interrogating the legal issues around the Owerri assault on Comrade Joe Ajaero vis-a-vis the labor recent labor strike. In the next 10 minutes, man, help us make sense of it. Please. Okay. 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 Hmm. 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 Wow. Hmm. 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 Daniel. Hmm. Wash the corner for that tea and put it. Hmm. 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 Wow. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Sorry. Mm, 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 mm. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted suddenly, man. I think you're muted. Mrs. Awokoya, we can't hear you anymore for whatever reason. The connection is frozen and then you're muted, man, if you can hear us. This has been very interesting. Whilst we wait for her to fix these things, I'm just going to quickly read the comments and see if anybody has a comment. If anybody wants to join the conversation or ask a question, then you can just quickly come in. We should be rounding off in about 8 minutes, just stretching it by just no more than 15 minutes. So from there's one here from PLIDE Joshua who wrote here, from the evidences he reported, and the police He said the police was actually the police force they actually acted on the side of those who assaulted him. That's what PLIDE Joshua has put here. That Comrade Joe Ajaero actually reported that it did appear that the police were they actually supported his. Okay, so Mrs. Awokoya is back. That's Mrs. Awokoya is back. If you can hear us, ma, we're just gonna spotlight this straight away. I think she's back now. So Mrs. Awokoya is back. So we'll just wait for her to join the chat. And once she's fully back, yeah. Oh, welcome back, ma. So we can hear you now, ma. We lost you there for a while. We don't know what happened. We couldn't hear you. Okay, okay, ma. So just Okay, man. So just quickly reading a few comments whilst we're, there's someone who wrote here. He said, well, from the report that Comrade Ajaero gave of the incident, that actually the police were on the side of those who assaulted him. That's what he's put here by that Joshua. And this Sola Fayemi wrote there, you are right, man. The Nigerian Labour Congress president shouldn't have used his office to publicly propagate his political interests. That was against the oath of office he swore to uphold. However, his brutalization is condemnable and unheard of and should not be condoned in a democratic setting. The NLC president is a symbol of NLC and his brutalization is a slap on the NLC, though he had for using his office for clear political gains. What would you say about that now? And if anybody else has a question, just quickly raise your hand, a comment, because once Ms. Awokoya responds to this, we're just going to take one or two comments and then get her to respond. That's it. Over to you, ma. Mm, 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 Let me. Mm, 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 mm. That's uh, uh, Hmm. Hmm. Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya, fire. Madam President retired, fire. I'm just going to take two or three comments and then we'll get you to respond and then we'll call it a night. Um, I don't know. I know last week that I applied at Joshua. Any other person, please feel free to raise your hand. But I applied at Abidemi Onojobi. I know you usually have questions there at times like this, but I know that I applied at Ayole last week. Lukman had a lot to say when we had applied at Comrade Nelson Kuchubu. And I know that Joshua has done some postings on our group in regard to this. So I'll get two of you if any one of you that wants to say something about this, and also this is Jen, you actually heard what Ms. Iyabo Awokoya said. Do you want to rephrase your question, or do you feel you're sorted like that? Even though that was like a brutal put down of that analysis of the NLC president being a symbol of the association and all those things. So let me give the space to three of you. And any other person, please just know that keep it 1 minute so that questions don't go past 5 minutes and then we need to round up very, very quickly. So you may unmute yourselves either Plada Lukman, Plada Josh, or Sola Fayemi. Very, very quickly, please. Oh, yeah, because you said, oh, I didn't know you're ready now. Apologies. That's my coordinator. So please go on. Go on, Plada Taro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hmm. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just thank you so much. Thank you. Thank Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's our coordinator in Oyo State. Thank you so much, my right Okunuga. Really, really, he's always very deep. There are two of them we have. They're really very deep when they choose to contribute to issues. You know, when they step in, it's like so. Thank you so much. Just so that we have Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya round up everything. Let me take any. Is there any other person? Like that, Lukman. Yeah, very very quickly. Please keep it to 1 or 2 minutes. Like that, Lukman, very quickly. And then I'll take. I believe like that, Fayemi does not want to talk. He's actually typed what he wants to say. So I'm just going to do that. So let's quickly have you. Good evening. Hmm. Thank you so much, man. So I'll just read the applied Fayemi's comments, and of course he's gone ahead to applied Fayemi. Let me give you 1 minute. That your comment, that your question. Please quickly voice it because you posted a link there that I'm sure Mrs. Awokoya can easily check as well. Please quickly voice your comment. Just 1 minute. I believe Prada Onojobi doesn't want to say anything, and is there anybody? I'm not sure I've left anybody out here. Oh, Plada Onojobi just unmuted himself. Okay, go on, go on. Plada Fayemi, let's have let's have Plada Onojobi and then Plada Shola Fayemi and then that's it. Oh my god. Thank you so thank you so much, Pride Onojobi. Thank you so much. I believe Kenny Okunuga is maybe he can't because I've tried to call him a couple of times. So, but SecGen IHQ, do you want to quickly voice your comments? Do you want to quickly go ahead, please? Even though someone has already fired you back, and this is they really you use the double barrel gun and the person used a submachine gun to fire you back, so go on. And you said the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, so you wrote here, and of the NBA, which actually directly goes for Mrs. Awokoya, because that's she's a member of the NBA. President can the NBA president be beaten same way? And of course, the person who fired back did right here. NBA president wouldn't go on public protest in such a manner. Ajaero should ordinarily. But just before you go into that, I'm going to mention the peculiar case of Olumide Akpata. Olumide Akpata was NBA president when the governor of Edo State refused to swear in many, I think about 12 or 13 legislators representing constitutional districts within the state. All through, he did not. I can't remember one time that he made mention of it. His legality, he never ever saw that. I think he had a convenient period, and all of a sudden he can see everything going on everywhere in Nigeria now that he's a governorship candidate in Edo State. So for me, with all due respect, but I'm very sorry, but maybe this is not the same MBA. You go on, ma. Go on, ma. So, yeah, please, ma, respond to everything you read, ma, please. Yes, to everything, ma. Go on, ma. Go on, ma. Hmm, 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 hmm. Hmm. mm. I, I think Plyda Okunuga made some comments somewhere, but I think you've actually gone through everything mainly, except I think you're reading through now. So let's just give you a minute to do that, man. So if there's anything you want to add to that. Mm-hmm. Hmm. 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 Wow. Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Because of our time, we just because and added to the questions I talked about earlier. Next week, I'm going to be asking you that question that if, for example, if there are going to be elections in Ogun State in January, um, and normally, is it ethical? But I'll leave it till next week, man. Is it ethical? Because for NLC or any other union that could actually sway the votes to go in there, let's say, quote and unquote, this governor has been said to be a bad governor, quote and unquote. And then we know that going there would actually sway the voters a day before, and they will start protesting pensions and stuff. And there are questions of ethics. Some of these things, yeah, legality on one side, morality and ethics on one side, on another side. These are things we'll probably talk about next week. But I just want to thank you, man. And I'll just quickly read this and then get our segment to read the vote of thanks. When the various political parties failed, Labour Party can salvage the situation. So I believe giving them that right to have a political party is not wrong. Just that the NLC president is too emotional in his decisions on national issues. And then there is a difference between Labour Union and Labour Party. The Labour Party remains a platform like the PDP, APC, etc. It's not an aggregation of the workforce. Don't mix it, please. Then it couldn't differentiate between fighting for a politician and fighting for the masses. The NLC isn't even in control of the whole civil service. They only control a section, the senior staff category. And yeah, he went on to write the senior staff category belongs to TUC. So it's a very, very interesting topic. We could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But I just want to appreciate you. And I think it was Pride Okunuga who was like, well, if he got killed, then nothing will happen. I was fighting when he was saying those. Comrade Okunuga was like, he went there to cause trouble so he could have, that even the governor pitied him. I'm like, the governor pitied him and he was so badly beaten up like that. So if he wasn't pitied, so basically what he talks about is, on a more serious note, what he talks about is just the range of emotions that the actions of the NLC president has actually brought about across the divides. There's those who were very supportive and those who were very, very much against it. But I want to thank you. I mean, Iyabo Awokoya said, anybody who lost anything as a result of that strike, please that you're able, just like the same thing Comrade Nelson Ekujubu said last week. I even put into him, I said, but you fight for the right of the masses all the time. Why can you not take that as a legal point, take it to court that fight a lot of people? But of course, he said doing that will make him a busybody, and I quite understand. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me call on SGIHQ to do the vote of thanks in our usual style. And don't forget that next week, Sunday, we're having Mrs. Iyabo Awokoya again. Thank you. maybe that's why the Kenny is not talking, because the Taiwo said the person could have been, they could have killed Ajaero. Maybe the Kenny would have actually said they should have buried him. He would have said they would have buried him alive, so he didn't want to say it. That's why he kept quiet. So, Madam President retired. We hope you reconsider your retirement by the time you come next week, man. Because maybe next week, man, we're still live. I mean, the webinar is done, so anybody can leave. But in the next 2 minutes, we're still live, but informally. Maybe next week I'll take you up on this, even though I know you probably say don't go there. This Tinubuist, Buhariist, and Oshibajoist, quote and unquote, that I think you're so, it caused quite a lot of difficulties in your camp. So how did it get that bad? Please, webinar is over. If you want to drop, you can go. Hmm. You're a Buharist, man. You're a Buharist, man. And you supported Oshibajo in the primaries, man. Okay. You are no longer APC now, man. You're no longer APC. You're no longer APC. Okay. Okay. Before they kill you, how do you mean, man? What because hmm. Mhm. Absolutely. Sorry, but this is webinar after webinar. Pardon for as long, it won't be long. But I'm going to put a very dangerous question to you, man. You said for you, it could have been, you wouldn't have minded, whoever emerged, that year you had somebody you supported, which was Professor Yemi Oshibajo in the primaries. And then it's because I'm aware of it, because in trying to put our webinars together, I reached out to many people who will say to me, oh, this and this and this. I suddenly realized that people that had seen from afar to be, activists in the same bag, all of a sudden they're divided and all this. So let me put this question to you, man. If it turned out that um, Chief Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar well, of course, you're no longer part of that party, you said. If they were part of that party, and I've seen your criticisms of Obi in particular, for example. So if Peter Obi was in that APC at that time and he won the primaries, would you not have supported him? No, I don't want you to leave it in the realms of conjecture, man, because I've seen quite a lot of criticisms of Obi from you. So are you saying that Obi is fit for office or not fit? Or Atiku? Hmm, hmm. Against him? Hmm. Okay. Hmm, 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 hmm. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hmm, yes, sir. Hmm, 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 hmm. What if you? Of course, we know next week we're having you and this man who has not said a word since he's suddenly talking. I said interesting conversations. I followed it A to Z, so I think he actually follows you on social media, I believe. And Shalava, Nigeria would have been better if our politicians are driven by ideologies rather than political sentiments. And of course, Comrade Ajaero, you're right, but even at the local level. Now, so I think he's saying the fight went on to the local level, because so if it was Atiku, of course, next week we're talking about the president's certificates, the CSU thing, the Supreme Court rulings, and everything. But what if it was Atiku? Because I'm just trying to marry some of your public comments and saying now your public comments against these two politicians, Atiku, I've not really seen you write much against Kwankwaso, to be honest. But I've seen you write a lot about Atiku and about Obi, maybe because they're more major in terms of contention. Hmm, 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 So what you're saying, Ma, is anybody? I don't know. Maybe let me even use someone as an example. Let me say my RSG Nigeria now, Comrade Ajaero, for example. Of course, I'm not just. It's just a joke. Let's say he's very poor in mathematics. He's very poor in mathematics. Let's say he's very. So because he's poor in mathematics means he won't qualify to the president of Nigeria. Is that what you're saying? He said he failed his mathematics. I know, man. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Let us release you at this point. Everybody, thanks for staying behind. We're just having an informal chat after the webinar. Miss Iyabo Awokoya, you are the bomb. You're just always, you're always class A class. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a fantastic week. God bless you. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.